came to the South and y'all promised our great-great-grandparents. Y'all came to the South and y'all promised our great-great-grandparents that they could have a better life in the North. Y'all promised them jobs. Y'all promised them equity. Y'all promised them opportunity. Y'all said, if you come up to Detroit, if you come up to Philadelphia, if you come up to Baltimore, if you come to DC, if you come to Milwaukee, if you come to Chicago, if you come to Richmond, Virginia, this is what y'all did. If you come to Connecticut, if you come to Boston, we have jobs for you. We have jobs for you. And so black people mass migrated from the southern states to the northern states during the war years. Black people mass migrated from the southern states to the northern states during the war years to fulfill jobs for white men who had to go fight for white supremacy. When those white men returned home after the war, black people were laid off, giving white people their jobs back. But you never told our great-great-grandparents. You never told our great-great-grandparents. You never told our great-great-grandparents that leaving the South for the North, leaving their agricultural, dependable economy, although not perfect, Buffalo, New York, that's another one of them cities where they begged us to come work. But y'all didn't tell our great-great-grandparents that when they left the South for the North, they would only be given jobs for a temporary season of time. Y'all did not say that once the white boys come back from the war, you would be laid back off. Y'all didn't say that. Y'all didn't say that. So by begging our ancestors to come from the South to the North, by begging our ancestors to come from the South and the North, you struck two birds with one stone. You struck two birds with one stone. Number one, you destroyed the black monopoly on Southern agriculture. You helped destroy the black monopoly on Southern agriculture. And then you economically disenfranchise generations of black people. And then you laid the early foundation for what is now known as America's black ghettos. We didn't do that. White America did that. We didn't do that. White America did that. Does anybody know why the black ghetto is so close to the business centers of America's northern cities? Has anyone ever wondered why the black ghettos are so close to America's major urban economic centers? I don't care where you live. I don't care if you live in Detroit. I don't care if you live in Chicago. I don't care if you live in Philadelphia. I don't care if you live in Baltimore. I don't care if you lived in Hartford, Connecticut, Boston, Massachusetts, Buffalo, New York. I don't care where you live. The ghetto is only about 10 minutes away from the multi-billion-dollar white governmental city center business complex. Why are poor black people so close to rich white money? Why are poor black people so close to rich white money? Now, let me help you understand, overstand, and understand why poor black people are so close to rich white money. The reason poor black people are so close to rich white money is when they started laying off our great-great-grandparents during the war years. When a white boy came back, the black man had to be fired. There was no civil rights movement yet. When the black man came back, the white man had to be fired. There was no civil rights movement. The civil rights movement is a generation away. The civil rights movement is a generation away. When they started laying us off, we clustered around the city centers because that's where the money was, which automatically dictated that's where the jobs would be. When we got laid off, when our great-great-grandparents got laid off, we started living. We started clustering around the inner city business districts where the white man did his multi-million-dollar business on a daily basis. We clustered around the white business centers hoping we could find a job. That's why the ghettos are so close to downtown business centers in every major city in the North. The black ghetto is a stone's throw away from the multi-billion-dollar white business district. That's why they need to gentrify the ghettos right now. One of the main reasons America is gentrifying Black America. One of the main reasons America is gentrifying Philadelphia, New York, Raleigh, North Carolina, Detroit, Chicago, Buffalo, New York City, you name it. Los Angeles, Phoenix, you name it. Oakland, California, Seattle, Portland. The reason they are gentrifying the Black ghetto is we are too close to white economic power. We are a contradiction because you cannot talk about how great and mighty and prosperous America is, the land of opportunity, and you got billionaires living 10 blocks away from poor people. It's a contradiction. The Black ghetto is a stain on American capitalism. The Black ghetto is a stain. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans, no different. The Black ghetto is a stain on white capitalism. The Black ghetto is a stain on white capitalism, and rather than eliminate the ghetto, rather than eliminate the ghetto, they want to eliminate the Black people who live in it. Rather than eliminate the ghetto, they want to eliminate the Black people who live in it. Rather than eliminate the ghetto, they want to eliminate the Black people who live in it because the ghetto is prime property. The Black ghetto is prime property because it is so close to the white business district. The Black ghetto is prime property because it is so close to the white business district. And the only reason why white people moved away. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand. Louisville, Kentucky, no different. Being gentrified. Being gentrified. The reason they got to gentrify the Black ghettos is we are too close to the business center. So we are proof that American capitalism is bullshit. The Black ghetto is proof that American capitalism is bullshit. But not only that, white folks want to live in that area because it is so prime and because it is next to the city center. White folks want to live in that area. Remember, white folks used to live wherever the ghettos are. White folks, you find me the worst ghettos in America. Show me the worst ghettos in America, and they used to be some of the best cities for white folks. Show me the worst ghettos in America, and they all used to be some of the best cities for white folks. For my North Philadelphia babies, do you know white folks used to live all up and down Diamond Street? Go look at the old pictures. Go look at North Philadelphia in the 1920s. Go look at the pictures of your city 100 years ago. Look at Chicago 100 years ago. And look where the white folks lived at. Go look at Buffalo, New York, and Brooklyn, New York. Go look at Baltimore. That's right. That's right. Go look at Atlanta 100 years ago and look at where the white folks used to live at. They want their land back. White folks want their land back. The only reason why they left is because we moved in. The only reason why they left is because the government begged us to move in. But when the war was over and they wanted their damn jobs back, they laid us off, which created the ghetto. Now let's go forward with this conversation on who really created the Black ghetto. Who really created the Black ghetto? And then they solidified the Black ghetto where they deindustrialized the inner city high schools. And then they solidified the Black ghetto when they deindustrialized the inner city high schools. In the 1970s, they went into the high schools and took out most of the relevant industrial building trade programs. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand. In the 1970s, they went into the Black ghettos and they took out all the relevant building trade programs. They took out the carpentry. They took out the plumbing. They took out the electric. They took out the roofing. They took out the welding. They took out the auto mechanic. They took out the auto paint. They took out the welding. They took out the wood manufacturing shop. This is what they did. They made sure you couldn't get a job. They said, we're going to lock these Negroes in the ghetto forever. We're going to make sure the only way they can feed their family is at the food bank or the homeless shelter. We're going to make sure the only way they can feed their family is at the food bank or the homeless shelter. This is what they did. White folks acting like they got a problem with black people being on welfare. You don't have a problem with black people being on welfare. You don't have a problem with black people being on welfare because welfare means no competition. Homelessness means no competition. Public housing means no competition. Food stamps means no competition. AFDC means no competition. White folks love black folks on welfare because as long as we getting free help from the government, we not competing with your business. As long as we getting free help from the government, we not competing with your business. Stop lying. Stop lying, acting like you got a problem with black folks on welfare. You ain't got no problem with us on welfare because as long as we on welfare, we not competing with your $1 million business. As long as we on welfare, we not using our God-given intelligence. As long as we on welfare, we not using our God-given brain power to compete with your $1 billion industries. Let's keep it a buck. The only reason why you ain't got a black Mercedes Benz is we can't get the loan from the white bank. The only reason why you ain't got a black Apple store is we can't get the loan from the bank. The reason why you ain't got a black Walmart, the reason why you ain't got a black Office Max, the reason why you ain't got none of these white companies with a major black competitor. The reason none of these white companies have a major black competitor is we can't get the loan money. We can't get the loan money. But I promise you, if we had equal access to wealth with the intelligence that black people have, the creativity that black people have, with the intellectual power that comes from our melanated skin, our divine melanated skin, if we were given equal opportunity to compete with white folks, with the brain power that we got, Mercedes-Benz be out of business. Tesla would be out of business. Caddy truck with Nike would be out of business. That's right. Louis bags and Gucci bags, all that shit would be out of business. Give us the same amount of money y'all give white folks. Give us for 1 year. Since white folks are so superior, you so much better than us, right? Right? Give us 1 year equal access to the economic pie of America and watch what we do with it. Y'all know damn well y'all can't compete with us. That's why y'all killed Kobe Bryant. That's why y'all killed Kobe Bryant. That's why y'all killed Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant was ending his contract with Nike and he was going to come out with his own player-owned sneaker brand. Nothing Nike could have done could have competed with Kobe's brand. And then Kobe was going to start his own professional basketball league based in China. That was a political mistake on his part. That was a political mistake because he knew the white man wasn't going to like that. But nonetheless, he had a God-given right to do whatever the hell Kobe wanted to do. Y'all couldn't let Kobe start his own league, and y'all couldn't let Kobe start his own sneaker. I said y'all couldn't let Kobe start his own league, and y'all couldn't let Kobe start his own sneaker. That's why he had to die. Michael Jackson, no different. After Sony sabotaged Mike, Mike said, okay, y'all want to play games? I'm not selling y'all the Beatles catalog, and I'm not giving you my stake in Elvis either. Michael Jackson said, I'm not selling you the Beatles catalog, and I'm not giving you my stake in Elvis either. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to do these concerts and pay off this debt, and then I'm going to start the first major black, truly independent. Because most of these black labels are not truly independent. They depend on white distribution. Let me say it again. Most black record labels are not truly independent. They are distributed by white companies. Michael Jackson was going to start a truly independent music company to compete with the majors. Y'all know y'all couldn't compete with him. Y'all know y'all couldn't compete with Kobe. Y'all know when the black man is given equal opportunity with the white man, then the black supremacy shines out. Y'all know when the black man is given equal opportunity with the white man, black supremacy shines forward. Y'all know that when the black woman is given equal opportunity to compete with the white woman, her black supremacy will shine out. When I speak of black supremacy, I'm not saying that black people are better than anybody else. I'm not saying that black people has a right to rule over anybody else. I'm not saying that black people have any interest in hurting or harming or limiting the human success of another group. I'm simply saying that we are God's chosen people. Not no damn Hebrews, not no damn Muslims, not no damn Christians, not no damn Moors, none of that shit. Black people, period. Africans are God's chosen people, whether you're Muslim or not, Hebrew or not, Moor or not, Christian or not. If you are African, if you got the DNA of the mother continent, we are the chosen people. And whenever the chosen people are given an opportunity to show what they can do, whenever the chosen people are given an opportunity to show what they can do, the black cream always rises to the top. The black cream always rises to the top. The black cream always rises to the top. So let me get back to this conversation on who really created the ghetto. Let me get back to this conversation on who really created the ghetto. Let me get back to this conversation on who really created the ghetto. So you went into the high schools and you took out all the programs that allow black men to learn the skills that pay the bills. Let me say it again. See, this is why the prisons got filled up. This is why the prisons got filled up. This is why the prisons got filled up, brothers and sisters. Norfolk, Virginia, Friday, November 12th, first visit in 5 years. Norfolk, Virginia, Friday, November the 12th, first visit in 5 years. Minneapolis, Minnesota, Dr. King's real birthday, Saturday the 15th of January. Scottsdale, Arizona, Dr. King's federal holiday, which I believe is Monday the 17th. Minneapolis, Minnesota, January the 15th, Scottsdale, Arizona. Prince of Pan-Africanism comes to Scottsdale, Arizona, first time. Dr. King federal holiday, Monday, January the 15th. Margate, South Florida, December the 4th. Nat Turner Land, November the 11th. So you took out all the industrial building trades. You took out all the industrial building trades, and then after you stopped our young men from learning the skills that pay the bills, and then after you stopped our young men from learning the skills that pay the bills, you took out all the factories and you shipped them out to the suburbs. You took out all the factories and you shipped them out to the suburbs and to second and third world nation, crystallizing the poverty that your United States government created. I said you took out all the industrial building trades out the high school, and then you eliminated all the industrial jobs out the black inner city and shipped them to suburbs and second and third world countries, crystallizing the poverty that the U.S. government created. Drive through North Philly, you see abandoned buildings. They used to be factories. Drive through the Bronx. That's right. Drive through Milwaukee, all those abandoned buildings. I wonder what they used to be. Drive through Detroit and Chicago. All those abandoned. Drive through Kansas City. That's right. Drive through Memphis, Tennessee. All those abandoned buildings. I wonder what they used to be. You know what they used to be? Thriving manufacturing centers. Those were production plants. Drive through Baltimore, all those abandoned buildings. And you know what the hypocrisy is, brothers and sisters? You know what the Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana is a perfect example. Gary, Indiana is a perfect example of how you turn a thriving white city into a black ghetto. Gary, Indiana is a perfect example of how you turn a thriving white city into an impoverished black ghetto. All those empty factories, All those empty factories that you told our ancestors to relocate to so they could get a job. And you never told them that they would be laid off. And you never told them that you would prevent their children from learning the skills that pay the bills in high school. And you never told them that you're going to move all of those factories outside of the black community. The American African did not create the ghetto. The United States government created the ghetto. The American African did not create the ghetto. The United States government created the ghetto. The American African did not create the ghetto. The United States government created the ghetto. And then you still don't stop. In 1933, we get the Federal Housing Authority. Uh-oh. When did black people start becoming Democrats? I'm about to step on some toes right now. When did black people start switching from Republican to Democrat? When did black people start switching from Republican to Democrat? In the early 1930s. When Franklin Delano Roosevelt won the election of 1932, he came out with the New Deal programs that was going to restore America after the stock market crash of 1929, which was deliberately engineered to destroy the economic power of the Marcus Garvey movement. I'm going to say it again. The stock market crash of 1929 was deliberately engineered to destroy the economic power of the movement of the greatest black organizer of all time, the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. And so black people started becoming Democrats because they thought FDR's New Deal meant something for black folks. Because you know we're so psycho-delusional. You know we so psycho-delusional. You know we so hallucinatory. We are the most hallucinatory and delusional people that I think the world has ever seen. The American African is the most hallucinatory and delusional people that the world has ever seen. We thought that FDR's New Deal had something in it for black folks. We didn't know the New Deal was nothing but a raw deal. We didn't know the New Deal was nothing but a raw deal. We didn't know the New Deal was nothing but a raw deal, brothers and sisters. I got a Neanderthal. I got a Neanderthal on my damn page. Why? Listen, dear white people, I have nothing against you except your white supremacy. When I'm talking to my people, can you please stay off my damn live? I am sick and tired of you privileged Neanderthals thinking you have a right to invade black space. We don't invade your space. You have never seen Dr. Umar jump on a white man's live. You have never seen Dr. Umar jump on a white woman's live. You have never seen me invade white space. I do not invade white space. I don't go to your community. I don't shop in your stores. I don't want to date your daughter. I don't flirt with your wife. I want nothing to do with you. So will you please respect my right to have a private conversation with my African people? That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Dear Neanderthal, dear caveman community, dear mayonnaise masters, will you please stay the hell off my live? Hop off the live right now. Neanderthal Nation, hop off the live right now. Hop off the live right now. So getting back to my point. The Federal Housing Authority, more than anything else the white man has done, the Federal Housing Authority of the U.S. government, created by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The Federal Housing Authority of the U.S. government, created by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The Federal Housing Authority of the U.S. government, created by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, your president. Your president, who will go down in history as being the Democrat that influenced black America to leave the Republican Party and become Democrats. He created probably, arguably, the most racist federal agency in the country at that time. The very same man who is responsible for black people leaving the Republican Party by the millions and becoming registered Democrats, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he created arguably the most racist federal department at that time, the Federal Housing Authority. Now, let me tell you about the FHA and how they created and solidified and maintained the black ghetto. Let me tell you about the FHA. 5 things that they did. 5 things that the Federal Housing Authority did. If you want to take my course on Pan-Africanism, if you want to take my course on Pan-Africanism, if you want to take my course on the introduction to revolutionary Pan-African nationalism, you must email me an autobiographical letter of interest. Who are you and why do you want to take the class? Who are you and why do you want to take the class? Who are you and why do you want to take the 1-year, 12-month-long class on revolutionary Pan-African nationalism? The class is $1,000. The class will cost you $1,000, not including books. Our first class meeting is January the 8th, Saturday, January the 8th in Wilmington, Delaware. Our first class meeting for the second course on the introduction to revolutionary Pan-African nationalism will be on January the 8th in Wilmington, Delaware. Only 50 students will be allowed, 25 men, 25 women. If you are interested, you must email me an autobiographical letter of interest. Who you are and why do you want to take the class? drumarjohnson@yahoo.com. 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 Same thing if you want to attend the new orientation, the orientation for Team Pan-African, new members orientation for Team Pan-African. Same thing, an autobiographical letter of interest. Why do you want to be a part of Team Pan-African? Who you are and why do you want to be a part of Team Pan-African? It's the same process for the class as it is for joining the movement. It is the same process to join the class as it is to join the movement. Let me get back to my lesson. Let me get back to my lesson. 5 things you need to know about the Federal Housing Authority. The Federal Housing Authority published a manual called the Underwriting Manual. Go do your research. The Federal Housing Authority published a manual known as the Underwriter's Manual. And in this manual, it expressly forbade the mixing of communities who are not socially acceptable to one another. Did y'all hear what I just said? The Underwriting Manual of the Federal Housing Authority codified segregation. They basically said you are not to put black people in white people's neighborhoods. If you don't believe me, go do the research. If you don't believe me, go do the research. Let me go a little bit further. Ghettos were not created for black people. Ghettos were created for working class white, projects. Ghettos too, but the housing projects grew out of FDR's New Deal. The housing projects grew out of FDR's New Deal. And the housing projects were originally for white folks who lost their homes during the Great Depression. So white folks who became homeless during the Great Depression were put in the projects. The projects were made for poor and working class white folks. Black people were homeless. Let me say this again. If you didn't have enough money to pay for a place to live and you were black, you were homeless. Black people were sleeping under bridges, sleeping in abandoned homes. Black people were homeless. Projects was for white people. Black people were homeless. The projects was for white people. Black people were homeless. The projects was for white people. And what happened? What happened was the complaints began. And the government said, we have to now create projects for black people because people are catching on to the fact that the housing projects is to save white people from homelessness, not black people. And then that's when you start getting your black projects. That's when you start getting your black projects. But the original projects were for white folks. So then when they started moving black people into the projects, white people said, we got to get out of here. And white people went to the government and said, how dare you let these Negroes move in this project? These projects are for us. And then that's when the Federal Housing Authority said, no problem, white people. This is what we're going to do. No problem, poor, broke-ass white people. This is what we're going to do. No problem, Snow Bunny. No problem, Snow Bunny. We got a pot of money. We got a pot of money, Snow Bunny. And with this pot of money, we are going to float low interest loans for broke ass white people to go escape the Negroes by moving to the suburbs. And we're going to make sure your mortgage in the 1930s and 1940s. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. If I'm wrong, prove it. If I'm wrong, prove it. If I'm wrong, prove it. And so they help the white folks escape the projects in the ghettos when the black folks start coming in, and they gave white folks low interest loans to go move out into the white suburb. Those houses back then might have been $40,000. They are $500,000 now. Those houses then might have been $40,000. Some of them are as much as $3 to $5 million now. So white people have been able to grow equity on that house that they would not have been able to buy in the suburbs with U.S. government funding. Let me say it one more time. Let me say it one more time. You middle-class white people who think you better than poor black people, let me say something to you since you don't want to hop off my damn live. You middle-class white people who think you so much better than black people, let me say this to you since you don't want to hop off my damn live. The only reason why your family doing better than ours, the only reason why you living so comfortable, the only reason why you got those businesses, the only reason why you live in that mini mansion is because the government gave your people an economic stimulus package back in the 1930s and 40s. The government gave your great-great-grandparents a handout. That's right. It's called welfare. Let me say it again, white folks, middle-class white folks. The reason you are so comfortable in America right now is because the U.S. government subsidized your white supremacy. I'm going to say it again. The U.S. government subsidized your white supremacy with a low interest loan that allowed you to escape inner city America and move to the suburbs. And that loan that you got from the government that allowed you to buy that house that your broke ass cannot afford has created, that was the 1940s, the 1950s, the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020, 80 years later. 80 years later. 80 years later. 80 years later. You are now sitting pretty with millions of dollars in equity that allow you to send your kids to college. It allowed you to open up a business for your child. It allowed you to get you a mini mansion in the downtown business district of America's big cities. The reason you white middle class folks are doing so good ain't got a damn thing to do with how smart you are. It ain't got a damn thing to do with American capitalism. The reason you are sitting good right now is the government gave your broke ass great great grandparents a handout. I'm gonna say it one more time. The only reason why y'all doing so good right now is the government gave your broke-ass great-great-grandparents a handout. Facts. Period. Point blank in the story. And then black folks said, we want to move to the suburbs. Black folks said, we want to move to the suburbs. And the Federal Housing Authority said, we cannot subsidize your loans. We can subsidize the poor white loan. We can't subsidize the poor black loan. Why can't you subsidize the poor black loan if you can subsidize the poor white loan? A poor loan is a poor loan. What difference does it make? And you know what the answer was? The reason we created the suburbs in the first place is to help white people get away from y'all. The reason we created the suburbs in the first place is to help white people get away from y'all. The reason we created the suburbs in the first place is to help white people get away from black people. So they trapped us in the ghetto. And once we got trapped in the ghetto, we said, okay, you ain't going to let us move to the suburbs? No problem. Let us own the ghetto. And the government said, we cannot subsidize a loan in the ghetto because the federal government refuses to underwrite any mortgages in the ghetto. So you help white people get out the ghetto, and then you trapped black people inside the ghetto. Who really created poverty in black America? 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 And because I am a Garveyite Pan-Africanist, because I am a Garveyite Pan-Africanist, because I am a Garveyite Pan-Africanist, I also want to talk about how we maintain the ghettos that we are trapped in. I also want to talk about how we maintain the ghettos that we are trapped in. Let's understand, overstand, and understand. One of the biggest contributors to the maintenance of black ghettoization and poverty, one of the biggest contributors to the maintenance and perpetuation of black ghettoization and poverty is the black church. The black church. Black religion has helped white power keep Negroes in the ghetto more than any other institution that I can think of. Dr. Umar, why are you blaming the black Christians and the Muslims and the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Seventh-day Adventists and everybody else for helping the government keep black people trapped in the ghetto? Why did you mention religion? Let me tell you why I mentioned religion. Let me tell you why black religion is an ally to the white power structure's agenda to keep black America economically dysfunctional and to keep the black ghetto as a permanent creation. 4 things black religion does that perpetuates black poverty. 4 things black religion does that perpetuates black poverty. 4, I'm not against Christianity. I'm against toxic Christianity. I'm not against Islam. I'm against toxic Islam. What are 4 things that black religion do that help perpetuate black impoverishment and economic dysfunction? Number 1, y'all take too much money from the black community and y'all don't give shit back. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. The black church, the black mosque, the black temple, the black religion, I don't care what religion it is, y'all take too much from the black community and y'all don't put shit back. Creflo Dollar, what are you doing for the black community? TD Jakes, what are you doing for the black community? Mega churches and medium churches, can you name one thing relevant and systemic that you are doing for the black community? What institutions are you building for the black community? What problems are you trying to solve for the black community? The black church takes too much money. We give the black church millions every Sunday, billions every year. We give the black church millions every Sunday, billions every year. We give the black church millions every Sunday, billions every year, and they have no institutions at all in our community. The black church is white America's best friend. The black church is white America's best friend. So number 1, y'all take our money. Number 2, y'all take our time. You've all heard the saying, time is worth more than money. Well, if time is worth more than money, the black church is robbing your ass twice. If time is worth more than money, the black church is robbing your ass twice. If time is worth more than money, the black church is robbing your ass twice, because the black church then took your money and now they want all your time. Come to Bible study on Monday. Come to choir on Tuesday. Come to the next meeting on Wednesday, the other meeting on Thursday. We got a building fund meeting on Friday. How you taking people time and you ain't doing nothing with it? The black church steals money and it steals time. The black church steals money and it steals time. What else the black church do that helps black people stay trapped in poverty? Y'all take the money y'all steal from black folks and y'all give it to white banks to move black people out their own community. I'm going to say it again. The money that the black church steals from black people, they put it in a white bank, and that white bank takes black people's Jesus's money. That white bank that's holding the black church's money takes black people's poor Jesus dollars and give it to rich white men to move into the ghetto and push your ass out. Lord have mercy. How can black money, how can black Jesus dollars be doing the white devil's job? How can your black Jesus dollars be doing the white devil's job? How can your black Jesus dollars be doing the white devil's job. So they take your money, they take your time, they invest in white supremacy by putting that money in the bank. And the fourth thing that they do, the fourth thing that the black church does that keeps us trapped and dysfunctional is they brainwash everybody in the church, everybody in the mosque, everybody in the temple into believing that the only way things are going to get better for you is if God makes them better. So they make you believe that you have no power to change your circumstances. And that's what I hate the most about these toxic ass black religions. They brainwash black people. We are a $2 trillion people. How in the hell do you brainwash a $2 trillion people into believing you can't change your conditions? Wait for God to do it. You's a damn traitor to your race. The black church should be held guilty. We should have a community trial for the black church. Black religion, all of them. I'm not excluding none of them. Ain't none of y'all better than none of the rest. I don't give a damn what you believe in. Black religion needs to be put on trial by the black community for stealing our money, stealing our time, investing in our enemy, and brainwashing us into believing we can't change our circumstances. We got to wait on God to do it. That's the problem, brothers and sisters. That's the problem, brothers and sisters. And another way that they keep us trapped in the black ghetto is the black politician and the black community leader and the black preacher are all under the control of the very same governmental forces that created the ghetto in the first place. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. You can understand, overstand, and understand. You can send this to your favorite pastor, your favorite imam, your favorite bishop, your favorite deacon. I don't give a damn. I stand on truth. I stand on truth. I stand on truth. I don't give a damn who feelings is hurt. Black religion is selling out black America. The politicians are controlled by the same government that created the ghetto that is now gentrifying the ghetto. The black preacher is controlled by the same government that created the ghetto and is now gentrifying the ghetto. That's right. The black community leader is controlled by the same government that created the ghetto and is now gentrifying the ghetto. They don't want to solve the issues of poverty. They just want to get rid of impoverished people. Did y'all hear what I said? The white solution to getting rid of poverty is getting rid of the black people who live in poverty. That's how they do it, brothers and sisters. And then, in order to maintain poverty in the black community, you got to make sure the public school system does not eliminate poverty, but perpetuate the poverty. Hello, special education in psychological evaluation. Hello, special education in psychological evaluation. Good afternoon, reading disabilities. Good afternoon, math disabilities. Good evening, ADHD. Good night, conduct disorder. The public school system of the black ghetto must perpetuate the black ghetto. A school system should be the answer to poverty. A school system should be the great eliminator of poverty. But in the black community, the school system ain't eliminating poverty. The school system is maintaining and perpetuating poverty through the over-promotion of special education, psychological evaluations, ADHD medications, juvenile incarcerations. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. White folks created the ghetto. White folks gentrifying the ghetto, and then they send white teachers into the ghetto to miseducate the ghetto black kids to make sure they never transform the ghetto into a thriving black community. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And then after they lock up the black men for breaking the law in order to feed their families because there's no jobs for ex-offenders, and the black man would have never been an ex-offender had he had a good job in the first place. I said the black man would have never became an ex-offender if he had a livable wage job in the first place. They're going to put a felony on his record and tell him he can never get a job again. Perpetuating the poverty. Perpetuating the poverty. Perpetuating the poverty. And then, to make sure you solidify the black ghetto, you make sure the economy of the black ghetto is totally dominated by hostile alien races. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. To make sure black people do not economically empower themselves in the black ghetto, you make sure every store, every shop, every business in the black community is owned by an alien race. You make sure the black economy is totally controlled by an alien race. You give black people one restaurant here, a nail salon here, a barbershop here, a beauty shop here, but 99% of all the businesses in the black ghetto are owned by alien races. If I'm lying, prove it. I don't come to waste your time. I come to teach. I am an educator. I am an educator. And a true educator is a liberator. You cannot be a real educator and not be a liberator. If you are an educator and you are not properly educating, then you are not liberating. I said, if you are an educator and if you are not properly educating, then you are not liberating. The educator and the liberator are one and the same. Understand, overstand, and understand what I'm telling you. So don't you ever again let nobody tell you that we created the ghetto. The government created it. The government maintains it. The government perpetuates it. And if you don't believe me, I want you to go out and get the Kerner Commission report, 1968. Study on the causes of inner city riots. Go and get the Kerner Commission. I have it. I have it. Go and get the 1968 Kerner Commission study that is partly the reason why Dr. King was assassinated, because the Kerner Commission report had all the information that Dr. King spoke on, but only the Kerner report had the statistics. If Dr. King would have got his hands on that Kerner report, Lord have mercy. If Dr. King would have had a chance to read that Kerner report, Lord have mercy. Dr. King had to die before he had a chance to read the Kerner Commission report. And when you read the Kerner Commission report, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. And the Kerner Commission report said it. The ghetto was created by white power. The ghetto is maintained by white power. The ghetto is preserved by white power. Go read the 1968 presidentially commissioned Kerner report on the causes of civil rebellion in this country. Pan-Africanism by any means necessary. That's right, sister.